Good morning. Hey, young world, the world is yours. Hey, young world, the world, young world. Good morning, young world. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the day, everyone. How are we feeling this morning? Hope everyone is up and feeling well, prepared to take on the day, on the challenges that are before us. Determined, destined, and disciplined. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do this morning? How do we do it? Everybody feeling good? Thank you for being here. Thank you for stopping into the walk and talk. Today is Saturday. It is now November the 29th, 2025. Saturday morning, people. Let's get up. Let's get at it. Let's get to it. Let's get real. What's shaking? What's baking? This morning, people, we're going to talk about using Saturday as a strategy day. As a strategy day. Saturday, we still get to enjoy it. We still get to get into it. We still get to relax, engage, as we should every day. But today we're going to talk about turn Saturday into a strategy day. How do we turn Saturday into a day where we're able to understand that our growth and our focus, our development on this day goes into so many other larger areas. We're going to do it this morning. I want you guys to help me get it done. Remember, it is now 5:05 in the morning. I'm coming to you up here from I guess I keep saying the Northeast. Here's the thing. Technically, per the descriptive layout and mapping of our country here in the great United States, there's a statement, there's a category that Maryland is the northernmost southern state. Now, in middle school, those words made so little sense. However, all it's really saying is that of the states that were considered a part of the South due to the Confederacy, the Mason-Dixon line that separated the North from the South was at the border of Maryland and Pennsylvania. And so technically, Maryland is considered the American South. Weather-wise, Maryland is considered the Northeast. It is cold up here. Look, I thought the South was supposed to be warm. Anywhere that gets this cold, we need to recalculate what the South is. We need, man, the South got to start in Georgia or something. As cold as it gets up here. Welcome in this morning, guys. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Walk and Talk. Let's take a look at what I see. Welcome to the top of the hill, people. Is my microphone on and working, people? I know sometimes these microphones don't work. Make sure y'all can hear me. What's happening? What's happening, Captain? Or what you doing, how you doing at the share. People, it is Saturday. Let's get up, let's get started. Thank you for being up this morning. Let's have some fun today, people. Let's enjoy. If you survived Black Friday, if you made it through, that's it, the year's over. Start getting ready for tax season. Oh my gosh. Start getting ready for tax season. I think the final date for filling out taxes is like April 15th. You need that time. You need that time because you can cook the books between the end of the year and the starting of the year. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Thank you so much for dropping in this morning. Welcome to the Walk and Talk. I want to appreciate everyone who's been up this morning, who's been here, who's been a part of the process. This morning, we're talking about strategy. How's everybody doing? Welcome, man. Good morning. Hey, Kenny, I guess you are. Still dark outside. It is still dark outside. I guess it's still dark outside somewhere all the time. First comment, Kenny, you got in there. Congratulations. Thank you so much, everyone. Today is Straturday. Strategy day for the week. Let's get excited about that. So, Sunday's the start of the week. We got to get it planned at some point, right? The more repetitious we become, the less planning we have to do. But there should always be a plan, right? Because we should always be looking towards growth. What's going on, Ryan? Good morning. What's up, big bro? How you feeling? Texas, welcome in. Oh, guys, and as always, that reminds me from Texas, as you guys check in, let me know where you're checking in from, what time of day it is, where you are. I am up here in the good old state of Maryland. I want to thank you guys for being a part of this walk and talk this morning. Thank you for being here. It is 26 degrees up here this morning. Not as cold as it was the other day. As you can see, the wind has kept still. All right. Thank you very much. Will do. And we have Ohio in the house, Kentucky, welcome in. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for joining the Walk and Talk. Let's do some more walking, let's do some more talking. So, there is we've been discussing this recently. There is a requirement, there's an expectation, there's a desire by humans to be productive, to be working, to be doing something, not just to be busy, which is why children get bored. When you sit down with a child and you start learning, I mean, like if you sit down with a young child and you start teaching that young child something and you're engaged in it, that young child will be engaged because their mind, their brain starts to develop. And children are the primary question askers, which is why they're capable of absorbing so much at such a young age, because the brain really asks, their nature is to discover and ask and to grow, like it needs nurturing. So when we take that And we get to, like, as adults, we need to be more intentional with that. We need to remind ourselves that growth is a part of what we do. It's a part of our development. How do we do it? We do it by focusing on the intentional work, the growth that's necessary to be a part of life, being productive, not just being busy. People, if you have a job that keeps you busy, you know what I'm talking about. Kansas City, welcome in. Cali, 2:12 in the morning, welcome. All right, so say that productivity does come from a natural place, right? That productivity comes from a natural place, and when you understand, and when you start to be productive, you start to see that this productivity feeds you. It starts to really make you more focused on what other things you can accomplish, not just what other things you can do. That's a big difference between the two, people. And I believe we have to understand that, because oftentimes, especially as children, they say, I'm bored. They say there's nothing to do. And really what they're saying is, there's no more challenges. I don't have any more challenges in my life. I don't have anything to accomplish. Like, there's all this stuff I can be doing, but this stuff isn't being productive. I'm looking for productivity. I'm looking for growth and development. And when you start to understand that that is a natural part of being human, we start to understand what children mean when they say it. And then when we start to understand what children mean when they say it, it helps us better understand what we're really looking for as adults. And a lot of times it's like, you know me, man, I'm just living, I'm just chilling. Oh, you just learned how to be bored. You've just learned how to sit still. And oftentimes it doesn't even lead to happiness. It's just there, right? As an American football fan, guys, I've come to understand that the greatest the greatest degree of energy that we invest in things becomes in things that we care about. So if we don't care much about anything, then it shows on both ways. We don't have a lot of care in how well it gets done or how poorly it gets done. And for most people, care is in this individual. It's about, well, I care about me, right? And so the misinterpretation of that is that people think caring about themselves means going out and working for someone else so that they can use money to buy things for themselves, like shelter and food, right? But if you truly care for yourself, then you care about how you treat yourself. You care about how you invest in yourself. And for so many people, we have lost that focus on our personal value, and we believe that compensation only comes from working for others. And so if our belief is that compensation comes from exchanging our time for currency, exchanging our time for gratitude or presence, then that's for other people. And so we say, well, look, I care about me. I don't care what they're doing. Are you really caring about ourselves? Here's the reason I'm sharing all of that. Today is Saturday. And Saturday is the perfect day of the week to take a moment, take some time. You ain't got to take all day. 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Sit down and say, hey, am I really taking care of me? Have I thought about where I am? Have I thought about how happy I am? Have I thought about having joy? Have I thought about things that I would do if I could be doing anything right now? Are these things that require for me to spend more time with others, more time with myself? Am I nurturing myself? Have I run out of challenges? Am I no longer challenging myself? Am I no longer growing? Where is my development in my life? Or is my life now dedicated to the development and growth of somebody else's family, business, legacy, to the point that all I'm focused with now is sustaining what I have? Most people live in that space. For those of us who say that there has to be more, and I want to do more, and I want to achieve more, and this doesn't mean I want to be a billionaire or I want to be a trillionaire. Simply for those of us who say, I want to live life. When you know you want to live life, you have to start living. And the living is in the challenges. It's in taking the Saturdays and saying, hey, where are some areas that I can find myself some challenges? For me, for some growth, for some development. Could I be doing more with my money? Could I be doing more with my time? Could I be expanding my mind more? Could I be venturing out and exploring different conversations, understanding different people, learning about different things, learning new ways to cook, new ways to exercise? Why? Because everything is not about breaking a record. It's about being a part of your own life, about living, about enjoying the experience. So literally when someone says, hey, stop and smell the roses, it's because things have to become intentional. Like I said before, once things start to become repetitious, it's easy to fill your day up with a lot of repetition. And so that repetition just gets you from waking up to going to sleep. It's the things we do, but then how are we living life? Are we living life discussing what other people are doing with their lives? Are we living life talking about how someone else has acted or behaved, watching others, versus engaging and being in our own, discussing our own? Saturday is a great day to take the opportunity to look at our own life and strategize. It could be a financial strategy, health strategy, mental health strategy, relationship strategy, but it's a great time to sit down and take a few moments and consider. Find those moments where you're going to say, hey, this time right here, I want to do this because it's living. I want to experience this living thing. You can ask questions, of course. Definitely ask questions. But I can't say here what kind of roses. Of course you can. Of course you can. You can smell bud roses. You can smell tree roses, and what do they call? Oh, y'all are funny. Experience life, right? So there are things I used to write poetry, so I'm trying to remember this line from this poem I wrote. What did it say? It said, if I learned something new every day to the day I died, I'd still die ignorant of what I knew I never tried. Living is that experience, right? If I learned something new every day until the day I died, I would still die ignorant of what I never knew, I never tried. There are so many experiences out there that we can invest our time into, invest our just enjoyment, just experiencing it because it's new. They have these painting, these art things that you can go through where they use indigo colors and they teach you to paint, and when the black light is on and you're painting, it looks like one thing, but when the black light goes off and it's the standard colors, it looks like something different. And so there are so many different experiences that are out there for you to try. There's different ways to go out, and there's cooking, there are people from different cultures, there's like so many, like just daily, like there are just different people out there who we just haven't walked up to and said, hey, how you doing? What's your experience? Like that's an odd way to introduce yourself to someone, but literally like meeting people, learning about what they do, that's an experience. That's being able to see things in a different way. Understanding the value of people when there's nothing in it for you, when there's no return. I'm not trying to buy anything from you. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not trying to be in a relationship with you. I'm not trying to take anything from you. I'm not trying to, I'm just walking up to you and saying hi. And then we're having a conversation. A good conversation is a good reward, right? And so being able to look at life and start to understand and start to appreciate the value of the experiences, and knowing that these things are adding to your life. They're adding to your existence, can be quite valuable. Always safe, thank you very much. It is indeed cold. Oh man. All right. So guys, there's this, and I have a tendency, I really like being on YouTube. I like sharing, I like being in a part of a conversation. Sorry about that, went dark on you. I did lose my train of thought. I lost my train of thought because I read a comment that said there are a lot of experiences. There are experiences and a lot of them are bad. And I feel I'm starting to get the sense that a lot of people are afraid to live, afraid to be alive, that we've been scared, we've been petrified into standing still. We've been taught and we've been beaten into belief that life is ultimately bad and that our experiences will be more bad than good. And when we live from that place, right? When we live from that place, we create it. We create that in our world. I'm out here walking right now, right? It's 20-some degrees up here. It is cold. This experience for me is a good experience. Here's the thing. Of the people who come in, and this is part of what the challenge can be, which is why it's important to sit down and strategize, take your time to write out what your course of action is going to be, is because if you don't strategize where you're going to find your peace, your happiness, your joy, if you're not going to put in there, hey, here's my time to smell the roses, here's my time to do this thing to edify myself and to grow myself. If you don't take a moment to do it, you'll find yourself working for others and then becoming role players in other people's lives. And then what they experience, how they experience, what they choose to share are the things that pull you down, versus you taking that opportunity to be the thing to bring them up, right? Experiences in life are about the framing. Understand that the memory matters more than the moment. We have to keep this in mind. Here's why this is important. And I'm going to share this so that we can really focus on it. When it comes to good things, when it comes to good experiences, most of your good experiences are going to come from a time where, as an adult, you were able to plan it and you were able to determine it and drive it. As a child, it's going to come from when someone else planned it and they allowed for you to enjoy it without any type of requirement, without any type of payback, no type of expectation or responsibility in that moment. And so we believe what starts to happen is, as we grow up, we start to believe that having responsibility makes things bad. Well, no, take on the responsibilities. The outcome is going to be what the outcome is going to be. So you invest your time, you do what needs to be done, and then you arrive at where you're going to arrive at. For a second, you couldn't see me. I was dark. And so when we talk about the fact that the memory matters more than the moment, what do we mean? It's the same thing when it comes to experiences that aren't deemed as being so good, right? If it's about things, about an experience that wasn't great, okay, what else is there? Like, are we going to lay down on that experience? Are we going to stop living in that moment? Or are we going to move forward? So my wife brought something to my attention, and I believe we had a pretty good conversation about it. And what my wife shared with me is that oftentimes people assume that someone who's been through trauma is really, really strong. Someone who's had this difficulty in life and survived it, these challenges in childhood, and survived it, that they're really, really strong. But we have to understand that there's a transition, because when you go through trauma as a child, you don't have the faculty, you don't have the knowledge, the strength, you don't have the tools, you don't have the understanding to be able to fight back. And so you learn to survive, and the strength in that is you just build walls to protect yourself. And so you just build walls so that you can make it through it. And then once you make it through it, there has to become a point where you start to tear down those walls, climb over those walls. And that time you spent inside was strengthening yourself, was learning, was growing, was developing those things necessary for you to be able to not only survive, but to grow and to fight back. And within that space, you will have grown and become stronger. And so everybody, when they hear about someone's experience, and they're like, oh, you're so strong. But for so many, that telling of that experience is not to say I got stronger during that time. It's to say I'm still in that prison. I'm still living in that experience. I haven't learned how to come outside of that experience and to be strong, and how to be nurtured, and how to accept or to give love and acceptance and emotion. And so there's two different sides of that thing. And so the strength to protect yourself isn't the same as the strength needed to fight for yourself, right? And so if we look at just simple combat, you can build a wall. And for many years, countries just built walls. They built great big walls. And there's a difference between building a wall and firing a gun. I said this before on my walk and talk. And as a gun owner and as a person who lives in the American South, technically, you have to understand that when it comes down to having a firearm, I'm a firm believer that a gun isn't intended to protect you. You can have a gun, but when you pull your gun, in the training they tell you, do not pull it unless you plan to shoot it. Don't take your gun out to show somebody. When you take your gun out, your intention is to fire. So take it out and fire. Take it out, find your target, fire on it. You're not pulling your gun out to say, hey, don't you do nothing, you better not move. No, you pull your gun out, you fire. And so when it comes to these situations where we're talking about a person being strong, putting on the defense, like putting on the bulletproof vest, getting in the armored car, getting into a surrounding where there are more people like you to protect you and to shelter you is not the same as pulling out a firearm and fighting back. It's not the same as running into the fire and understanding that you have to grow from this place. That's a different level of achievement. That's a different level of growth. And what does that mean? So when we're talking about our experiences and the experiences that are out there to be had, and when we talk about, yeah, some of these experiences are bad, you have to understand that when we live in the bad experience, that's a choice. How many of us are choosing to live in the good experiences? How many of us have experiences that have been positive, experiences that have been strong, experiences that have shown us that we have the ability to do great things, experiences that have shown us love and growth, and we throw those out the window? And then the experiences of the things that we don't like and we don't want to do and we don't appreciate, we hold on to, and we tell ourselves that this is our life. The value is in the memories, not the moment. The moment creates memories for years, but we hold on to pain so strong. We hold on to pain memories, and they become indelible and they become written into our subconscious and our mind because we're not having enough good experiences to understand that we're having good experiences, that we're enjoying good experiences, that we're having and living life. And so everything becomes pain. Why? You don't like your job. You don't like going to work. You don't like the people around you. You don't like your family. You don't trust your friends. You don't like how much money you make. You don't like how much money you spend. Everything is bad. And so now, all of my experiences are bad. I just have bad experience after bad experience. You got a car. This doesn't have anything to do. So one of the things that's important, again, we're talking about being able to strategize on Saturday. We have to strategize, taking a freaking moment to think about how blessed we are for where we are in our life. And we have to stop trying to paint ourselves as beaten down and held down and victims. Because as long as we do that, as long as your experience, your life is determined and viewed through the eyes of the actions and behaviors of others in the past and the present, you are not in control of your life. Because everything based on you and your life is driven by what somebody else does. And so every time you go to do something, every time you want to be happy, every time you want to achieve something, it's based on how somebody else acts or responds or treats you. And if that's the case, if your happiness is tied to other people's behavior, then you're not in control of your life. You're not in control of your happiness. You're not in control of your peace. So how do you take control of it? We have to start to understand that as much as experiences can be challenging, they are that moment. It's the memories. How are we writing into the memories? How are we repositioning the memories? How are we reframing and allowing ourselves to grow and experience joy? There are strides there are steps, and I believe Saturday is a great day to sit down and strategize. As I said before, it can be about wealth, it can be about money, it can be about your future, it can be about your relationships. Definitely blessed. Saturday's for a party. You can definitely party on a Saturday. I'm not telling you to take your whole Saturday. I told you earlier, man, it's like 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes, man. Maybe 30 minutes of time that you spend strategizing. Right? We have, man, that's part of living it, right? That's part of saying, hey, well, let's party. Yeah, let's party. Like, when I was young, I would go to parties. When I went to parties as a young man, I remember I was terrified of girls. We go to the party, man. I was poor. I had nappy hair. I had one good outfit. I wore that joint 3 times a week. Man. So when it came time for the party, I stood over there. I remember going to school parties. I didn't even stand next to the punch bowl. They say stand next to the punch bowl. Somebody got to come get something to drink. You can talk to them then. Man, I stood over there by myself. I was like, man, I'm not going. I'm not. I ain't talking to them. I ain't getting turned down. I remember one time I was talking to my older brother, and he's passed away. It's my brother Deggy. And he said, I said, she's cute. I was looking at this girl. I was like, she's cute. He's like 2 years older than him. He's like, go talk to her. I was like, what if she say no? He was like, dude, who are you? He said, so what? He said, people said no to Jesus. Are you better than Jesus? Look, changed my life in an instant. In an instant. He was like, people said no to Jesus, dude. Like, you expect every person you talk to be like, yeah, you the one? Dude, changed my life. It's like, just go do it. You get experiences. You go through things. You start to learn. You start to grow. You start to be like, yo, I can appreciate this for what it is. Right? Oh, man, it's so much fun. So, what does this say? Keeping the Sabbath and doing what I'm supposed to do and not do, all esteem. Okay. Okay, so here's an interesting story of a party. Listen. We had to move. When I tell you that we had to move, this is no joke. So, we didn't move there because this happened. I feel like my dad, like my birth father, I feel like he knew that we couldn't live there, right? So, oh man, this had to be somewhere in Tennessee. I was quite young. I told you I had one good outfit. And so we had just come into this area. We were apartment hunting. And during the apartment hunting, my daddy was a traveling minister. And so they had this like church social that they were doing. And so my dad went out. Yo, I don't know if y'all know what Dickies are. Dickie is the little fake turtleneck. It's the little piece of the turtleneck that you put up under like your shirt or whatever. So my dad went out. We went to the secondhand store. I got this banging burgundy outfit. It had these like slightly baggy corduroy pants. It had this burgundy sweater, nice form-fitting sweater. We found a white Dickie to go with it. Man, he got me some clean shoes. I'm walking up in that joint. I'm like, yo, I'm pulling this off. I'm like, this is my moment. I am shining more than I ever shined. Like, I brushed my hair for like 45 minutes. I wasn't able to get no waves, but it wasn't nappy. I mean, I put in work. And so we get to this party, this little thing. It's inside of this little country church. Girls are there. I'm walking in and I can feel it. I'm like, yo, I'm new and I'm cute. Man, this is about to happen for me. So I put my little hands in my pockets. Yo, y'all gotta feel me on this one. Put my hands in my pocket, right? Here's the thing about the corduroys. I don't think the pockets was made for your hands to go in. You ever had to put your hands in your pocket where you had to get your shoulders over your hands to like push down? Like it didn't just slide in, you had to. So that's how these pants were. But once my hands were in there, I'm what's up. So I'm there at this thing and my dad was like, go out back with the kids, right? So I walk through, go out back. We've been there, we did the whole day. Like I talked to some people, I'm like, what's up? Met a couple people, introduced myself. They were like, oh, where you from? And so I'm like, oh, I'm from DC. And they were like, oh, from DC. I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm from DC. Y'all, listen, if anybody's from the North, we all believe that when we go to the South, we are so much cooler than the people in the South. We feel like we like 3 years ahead. Like whatever's going on in the South, we did it in the North 3 years ago. I'm like, yo, I'm from DC, you know. And so we go to leave. I put my hands back in my pockets. What I don't understand, what I didn't see is that the bottom step of this church, these people didn't take, man, the bottom step of this church, where the concrete hit the grass, the ground was gone. There was no ground. There was no grass. It was like a drop off. And I got my hands in my pockets and I go to walk and I'm looking, and I'll never forget this. There's people sitting on the steps. I go to walk, and as I go to turn, I'm looking while I'm stepping off the curb and there's no ground, and I feel myself. Listen, when I tell you I feel myself going, I feel myself falling, and I can't get my hands out my pockets. I'm like, and poof. I just imagine a cloud of dust. Here's why I imagine a cloud of dust. When I got into the car and I looked into the mirror, you know the little passenger side mirror? I looked to the passenger side mirror. When I tell you this whole side of my face was clay red from dry dirt, man, my hair, I mean, I hit, boom, solid, no protection, just woof. I got up after I got my hands out my pockets. I went and got in the car. My daddy got in the car. Here's what made it worse. These Bammers ain't laugh. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. These Bammers sat on that porch and did not laugh. They I hit this dirt, boof. Dust came up. They sat there and did not laugh. So I get in the car, we drive off. Listen, I'm sitting there, my daddy ain't said nothing. I ain't said nothing. I got dirt still on the side of my face. We did not move there. I think my daddy was like, I can't move there. Not after that. Like, these Bammers sat on that step and did not laugh. They didn't. They just sat there and looked at me. In that moment, my life was over. I was like, dude, I ain't never wear that outfit ever again. First thing I check now on my pants when I go to get them is the pockets. How big is these pockets? I need to be able to get my hands in and out of my pockets. I'm terrified. I'm terrified of falling on my face again. People, man, my life was over. It was the worst. I lived for years. I was like, I thought about that years later, and I was like, man, those people are probably still laughing at me. Those people, listen to me. Listen to me when I tell you. I hit that ground so hard, man. And I was like, this is the end. This is the end of what my life is going to be. This is it. That's who I am. I'm the face plant kid. I'm the kid from DC who ate dirt, essentially. But then you grow up and you start to put it into perspective and you start to realize it's going to be okay. There are people in the world who don't know you did that. Well, now there's not. Now there's, we moved. We didn't get a place there. We didn't get an apartment there. My daddy didn't start preaching at that church. But here's the reason. The reason I'm sharing the story is because I'm telling you that our experiences, someone mentioned going to parties, and I'm telling you that our experiences at these parties and at these events are tied to certain things. There's so much belief that life is bad. There's so much belief that all of our experiences are bad. But if we understand going into these experiences as a child, that's your whole world. You don't have anything to reflect on to say, hey, this is going to change. This can get better. This will be different in the future. There's different ways for me to approach it. This doesn't have to be my forever and my always. But as adults, we do. As adults, we know this is a moment. I can be wrong. I can make a fool of myself. I can have fun. I can tell jokes. And it doesn't define me. It doesn't determine who I am. It doesn't make it horrible. I can spill a drink on me. I can go out and have my pants rip. I can go out and I can still enjoy my life. I can still enjoy my experiences. I can still grow. Because so much of who we are and how we define ourselves is tied to how other people see us versus how we see our life. Saturday is a great time to strategize because a lot of things happen in our lives where we're like, this is just happening. It's happening around us. We're not in control of it. We don't determine it. We don't have any say-so in it. And then there's the part of our lives where I get to say, this is my thing. I get to do this. I get to do jumping jacks. I get to run. I get to work out. I get to read. I get to play chess. I get to write. I get to do whatever it is I want to do in this time. And it's for me. Let me enjoy it. Let me have my thing. So that I can sit here and say, man, I enjoy doing that. I'm not writing this because I want everybody else to love what I'm writing. I'm writing because I enjoy writing, and sometimes I write. Would it be great for somebody else to see it? Yeah, sure, fine. But even if they don't, I wrote. I sat down and I wrote and I read it and I was like, man, that's pretty nice. I like that. There are plenty of people who write, who paint, who sing, who do poetry, who do gymnastics, who do all types of crafts. There are plenty of people who do things every day for them that they enjoy, and they don't show anyone. They don't share it with anyone because that is for them. And what I'm saying is that as a part of life is growing, as we talk about discipline, Saturday is a day to strategize. And what we don't do is we do not write an intentional time for us to be us, to just, we fill our calendars up with stuff to do. And any blank space on our calendar is just enough time for us to rest until we have to go do this next thing that's on our calendar. And then a lot of them are things that we're doing for other people. And so now we start to attach our value to what we do for other people. And even when it's for other people in our family, because we've attached our value, our worth, our happiness to what we do for other people, if they don't respond the way we want them to, now we feel like all of this stuff that we do for the people we love is a waste. I take you guys here. I do this for you. I do this for you. I show up here for you. I do this for you. I do this for you. I like doing these things for you, but you don't show me, you don't show that you care. You're not giving me the response that I need to see so that I know you care and appreciate the things that I'm doing for you. And because your value is tied to their response, not you doing that thing. It's the same thing for our jobs. I work hard, I show up every day, I'm on time, I get good numbers, I'm better than this person, I'm better than that person, and you're not paying me enough money. I feel like you don't care. Your value is tied to how much they reward you for what you do, not what you do. And once we're in that space where our value is tied to what other people do to make us feel valuable, whether it's pay us with money or attention or time, if that's what it is, then we don't find happiness or joy in that thing. Because the joy in that thing is the doing of that thing. We have to understand that. I can't see that. Is it night? It is here at the moment. It's actually early morning, but we wait for the sun to come up. Hey guys, if you haven't done so yet, tap that screen, man. Let me get a like. Give me a couple of likes. I appreciate it. Don't cost you nothing, guys. Just a way to say thank you. I appreciate you guys for being here, being on the walk. Saturday is Straturday. Saturday is the day that we strategize. It's just an opportunity for us to get out here in our life and say, hey, what am I looking to do? What do I want to accomplish? What about me? Like, really, what about me? What makes me happy if nobody else is happy with it? What do I enjoy if nobody else cares? What's that thing that I don't need to show anybody? I don't need a return from anyone. Listen, y'all, I'm walking in so parts of my walk are bright. Parts of my walk, that's what I'm walking into right now, guys. I got this light on me. That's what I'm walking into. I ain't even got no, dude, y'all is, I'm trying to feel like I need to turn this light around. Parts of my walk, like, yo, I'm about to walk off a cliff. It's just darkness. So when y'all see me hold this camera out to the side and start looking forward, it's because I'm trying not to fall on my face again. Y'all, but at least I know if I fall on my face on here, y'all gonna laugh. Y'all ain't gonna sit there like them people and not laugh. Y'all definitely gonna laugh. Y'all, I'm gonna see remixes. Me falling to the beat. Buzz, buzz, bum, 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 bum. Somebody gonna turn it into a freaking, what do they call that thing when they turn the video into a video for somebody else in sports? I fell on my face, like, I fall on my face, y'all turn it into a video of somebody catching a freaking baseball off a wall or something. Dude, all I'm saying is this. There are so many things that we can do. There's so many different ways that we can just be in our own lives and experience our own lives and live our own lives. There's so many ways to do it, but it requires for us to take the time to do it and then appreciate it when we're doing it. Like, appreciate it. Like, learn to appreciate what other people do, and you'll learn to appreciate yourself and what you do as well. After y'all know I'm okay, y'all laugh. Just got what? Yeah, it's helped me. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad I'm able to help. I appreciate that. People, it's all the same, man. It's all the same. Our experiences, the stuff we do, the work that we do, the life that we live, that we choose to pursue, it requires intention. And the reason I say that is because we believe that intentional behavior and focus only goes to what we do for others or to make money. And it's for us as well. Thank you very much for that gift. I appreciate that. It's for us to do as well. There has to be a way for us to begin to understand that the work that we do and how we do it matters, that we have value, that the reason that we go out, the reason that we get up, the reason that we are here is to be here, for us to live here, for us to experience it, not just being alive, but to be living. Living is so much more than being alive. But you have to care enough. You have to care enough to go get it, to want to go get it. God bless you as well. People, it's now 6 o'clock in the morning. Saturday morning, it is the 29th of November, year's 2025. I want to thank you all for being here. I appreciate you stopping in. I appreciate the likes. Thank you for the gifts and for the sharing. It means a lot. Being a part of this process has really been beneficial for me. And I want to thank you for your time getting up this morning, for taking a moment to be here. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. Continue to be a part of the growth. We've hit, for those of you who were here a month or so ago, we weren't yet monetized, but we've now hit monetization. So a couple of things are now available. Please feel free to share, contribute. Also, we're opening up membership tier. The membership tiers are for us to take these conversations a bit further, for us to start to delve specifically into those things that you guys are looking to achieve. The discipline tier is now available at $9.99. On this discipline tier, we have more direct conversations, not just about my experiences and my past, but about your experiences, your path, and your future. How do we start to develop the discipline necessary to achieve whatever it is we need to achieve in life? Understanding that it doesn't matter how much we teach someone. It doesn't matter how much we guide someone. It doesn't matter how much we give someone. If we don't help them develop the discipline necessary to implement it, then it has no value. This discipline has four simple pillars. They start with repetition. Repetition is just getting at it. Just start doing it. No, it's not going to be perfect. No, you're not going to hit the mark every time. No, you're not going to be infinitely capable at the beginning. You have to couple that repetition with patience, understanding that this is the start of your process. You cannot be consistent at something to which you do not have the skill to perform. That's why we just have to be repetitious. Just start showing up. Keep showing up until showing up isn't a problem. And then we can work on consistency. Consistency is a plan. It's developing the understanding that we need to do certain behaviors at a certain mark in order to achieve goals. And then once we move into that space of learning how to be consistent, we have to persevere. As those challenges arise, as things become difficult, as understanding, which is why I say again, we have to plan time to care for ourselves. We have to understand how to make time to make us matter. As we start to do that, as we start to move into the space where we understand how important we are to our own lives, then we start to understand the work that we do matters, not just into making others happy, but experiencing our own happiness as well. That perseverance is the salting of the soul. It's that thing that lets you know, as challenging as something may be, it is not the end of your world. It is not the end of your life. It's not the end of your existence. I don't care how hard you fell into that dirt with your hand in your pockets, you can get back up. It's going to be okay. It is going to be okay. I want you to understand that we can keep carrying on. We can keep pushing forward. We can start to make our joy and our happiness our intention. It doesn't happen by chance. It doesn't happen just because we're there. It happens because we're engaged in it and it's a part of what we want to do. The people who want you unhappy, the people who know that they can sell you sadness, they can sell you fear, they can sell you depression. No, they can also sell you the medications to help fix your sadness, your fear, and your depression. And so it's a design. And in order for it to work, it takes discipline. They work at it. They feed you stories. They put it in your news feed. They bombard you with terror and sadness and shame and evil. And the world is bad and you need to protect yourself. And then they build it up to a point where they're like, you must have this in order for it to work. My wife and I have 7 children, people. And it was as horrifying as it was to have been alive and seen the Columbine shooting and to see it happen and to now have 2 teenage children in high school. And the specific reason that we put phones into their hands was to say, if something happens, I need to be able to reach you. I need to know you're okay. I don't trust the school to call me when it has 1,500 students in there. It can't call 1,500 parents and say, we found your kid. I need to be able to reach you. And so the whole reason for you having this is so I can know you're safe. Okay, fine. You download apps, you watch YouTube, you play games, I get it. But the key is in that one circumstance, in that slight possibility that you're in a situation where I need to contact you, I need to be able to contact you. As small as that percentage may be, I need that safety. I need that comfort. And now the schools are saying kids can't carry phones in schools. Man. Good morning, Bruce. How you doing, buddy? Here's the thing, people. I'm saying this because I understand that there is a process, there is an effort, there is intentional work to put things in a specific space. The whole point, the whole drive, and the definition of capitalism is to create the problem. I create your problem and then I sell you the solution. Okay? You have to understand in your life, you have to take the same effort to create your outcome and then find a way to get to that solution. You have to know what it is you're trying to do, know how you want to feel, know where you want to be, and then you do the work to get there. Not because someone else is going to be there, not because someone else said they need to be there, but because that's where you want to be. And then be happy getting there and being there. Welcome in Philadelphia. I would like to say from Philly, as a proud Cowboys fan, welcome to this walk and talk. I appreciate you being here. It means a lot to me. It means a lot. Bruce, good sir, and neither of us had phones at school. We did not. We did not, man. You got a pager. When you got a pager, that's your, you remember that? Man, you put a pager on, it was like, yo, you still need a pocket full of quarters. We had to learn how to send messages on pages. 911 emergency 314. What? Guys, thank you again for being here this morning, everyone. I appreciate you being a part. I want you guys to take this walk and talk this morning, this Saturday Straturday, to strategize your upcoming week. A lot of things are already in repetition. A lot of things are already falling into place. But pick something. The challenge for this Saturday for you is to find that thing that you want to work on this upcoming week. I don't care if it's finances. I don't care if it's your faith, your relationship. You choose. You find that thing you want to work on this week. It can be your fitness. It can be your diet. It can be your job, whatever it is. Find that thing that you want to work on this week. And then you need to come up with a strategy of a course of action that you're going to take. Daily actions that you're going to take, that you're going to commit to, that take 2 to 5 minutes. Don't have to take a long time. This is just something this week I'm going to do. It's going to take me 2 to 5 minutes. If it's your finances, I'm going to take 2 to 5 minutes to sit down and see where all of my money is going every day. 5 minutes. Let me look. What's this card? Pull this card up. We can all do it in the apps now. What is this card paid over the last 60 days? Where is this money going? Is this something that's a recurring payment? Can I cut this payment off? Can I cut this card off? Can I lock this card down? If it has to do with your job, where am I going on this job? I need to find 2 to 5 minutes to speak to a leader about the possibilities, the growth, the future. What's the focus? What's the expectation? What's my needed investment? I need to do it. I need to figure it out. I need to have the conversation, and then I need to sit down and I need to figure that information out. I need to see if it's something I want to do. I need to see if I need to be looking for other jobs. Do I need to be adding more skills? Whatever it is, 2 to 5 minutes every day. I need you to figure out. I need you to pick that thing today and take about 15 to 20 minutes today to figure out what's that thing you're going to be working on, and then choose your strategy. Everyone, I want to thank you for being here this morning once again. I'm going to appreciate you being a part of the Walk and Talk. Remember, discipline. It's got 4 pillars. It's repetition, patience, consistency, and perseverance. When you pursue anything with discipline as the foundation and you pursue it towards mastery, you're guaranteed to see success. I want to thank you all for being here this morning. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your morning, a part of this Walk and Talk. As we move forward, people, I want you to go out and have yourself a beautiful Saturday. I want you to see and appreciate all of the things that you can do and all the different ways that you can achieve. Once again, people, I want you to have a great Saturday. And as always, remember, people, keep showing up, keep blowing up, keep growing up. Until next time, you guys have yourself a blessed Saturday and a beautiful weekend. I'll see you on Monday.